one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councillor Hawes. As many of you probably know, we had a traumatic and terrible incident happen in our state and in our part of the state this last weekend. And so in lieu of our invocation tonight, I've asked our police chief, Chief Warren, if he would maybe say a few words and lead us in a moment of silence. So, Chief Warren.
Well, first of all, thanks, Mayor, for giving me this opportunity to honor these officers and speak to you guys and the citizens of Riverdale. I can't lie. I don't know if I've been this nervous about talking. There's only a couple of things that get my morning that get me kind of teared up. You know what they are: family, and I consider all law enforcement family, my country, and God. I might talk about all three of them briefly. So, anyways, I just want to take a moment to recognize the officers that lost their life in line of duty and the one that was injured from Box Elder County. Those officers are heroes. Every day that law enforcement officers across the state come to work, they come to work knowing that they may not go home. One of the first questions I ask the officers in the chief's interview before I hire them is if they're willing to give their life for someone in this community and their fellow officer. And every one of them answers the call yes. And I've kind of pondered a lot since this happened, and I pondered to myself, if these officers, they're in a good place now, if they were asked if they would do it all over again, knowing the outcome. I know in my heart they'd say yes. I know in my heart they say yes because they showed up to work every day knowing that was the possibility. And, their families, I always really, really praise the families. I'm going to really praise their family because they're heroes. They've lost a father, a husband, a brother, a friend. And I can't imagine how hard it is for them. Now, what good could possibly ever come out of a situation like this? I don't know. But what I do know is I'm proud of the residents of Box Elder County, the residents of Riverdale City, the residents of Utah for the support and love they've shown these officers and their family. And not just the officers involved and their co-workers, but all officers. And that's why these officers paid the ultimate price, was for the love of their community. And it just reinforces why officers do what they do every single day when tragedies happen like this and the community shows up in support of their family as they're grieving. And so I'm honored today to be here and be able to ask the council and the mayor and residents watching to honor them and their families in a moment of silence. So if you join me in that, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. And I know, last thing I want to say is I know you guys will have their families in your prayers, because every time I step in this building, in this chamber, I hear you guys pray for my officers. And I can't tell you how much that means to me. And I can't tell you how much it means to all the officers across the state of Utah. And I know that each one of you guys have had them in your hearts. So thank you.
Thank you, Chief. I appreciate you doing that. I'm sure it wasn't easy. And, anytime something like this happens, we think about those that we know that serve in law enforcement. And I'm so grateful it wasn't our city, but I think it's gotten the whole state to stop and think. Everything I've seen has been so complimentary of those law enforcement officers that we have, and I know I stop and think about our guys, and not just our guys, but their families. And even though we weren't involved, it's got to really hit home, and I think it really makes everybody stop for just a minute and think about it. And so we go for such a long time without having it, and you know it's out there, but you don't. You try not to think about it, and then when it happens, it's so shocking, and it's just, you realize just how fragile the whole thing is, and how in just a second, what a horrible thing could happen. So anyway, tell your guys they are in our prayers. Always, every day they're in my prayers, and the council, you've heard them pray for them, like you said, and their families too, and every bit of support we can give them, and we'll get through it and get back to the good times. So anyway, thanks for doing that for us. Okay, we'll now move on to public comment. This is an opportunity to address the City Council, share your ideas or concerns. No action will be taken during the public comment. If you do approach the microphone, please state your name and the city in which you reside, and try to limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Hi, my name's Rod Turner, and I live in Riverdale over on 1150 West, about 5100 South. I'm just going to reiterate a little bit on what the chief said, but first of all, I want to thank you folks. I might come to the city council meeting once a month and say the same old crap, but you guys don't get thanked enough. I mean, you know, we elect people and we sit back, and especially me because I'm a retired slug now. We expect you guys to do stuff, and we think we've earned the right to ask you guys to do stuff, but we don't thank you guys enough for it, okay? Especially in light of what happened a couple of days ago in Tremont. I want to thank our police department and our other first responders, because 50 years ago I was one of them. Here. Sorry. But they too, we expect them to do things, and we expect them to do things and go places that we wouldn't want to go. But they're the folks that run to the unknown and run to the danger, and oftentimes with little respect and admiration from us. I just want to say that you have my admiration and my respect, and I appreciate all of you, and you guys too. I think maybe I wanted to say something else, but it might have ran right out of my head. But I think I said the most important things, and not to minimize the guys that work for the city, the grounds department and stuff, including the young guy that came by my house and turned my water valve back on because there was a line break across the road. And the guys that service Golden Spike Park at 6 o'clock in the morning when I'm down there walking around. I appreciate everyone and all of you. I just want you to know that, okay? Because I know I don't say it enough, and I know darn well most of the people in the city don't say it enough. So thanks again. Appreciate you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Turner. Anytime we see someone in the audience, we're always a little worried about what they're going to get up and say. And so that's a welcome relief. And you're right.
Be careful. Next time it might be different.
Bring soda to the block party. So
Yeah, I remember seeing him over there.
Up a little more than
Yes, yeah, great. And we do have great employees throughout all our departments. You're exactly right. So thank you for recognizing them. All right, seeing no other public comments, we'll move on to presentations and reports. For the mayor's report, I just had one item. I got a really nice letter from the Northview Fire District, and they were thanking us for sending our crew out there to fight that Willard Peak fire. And I was just asking the chief what we did, what we were involved with, and he said our guys were on that line where it came right up to the houses. They were there fighting it back. And so I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but everything I read and said that without those fighters, it would have been right on those houses. And the chief was telling me we had guys that came in on their time off to backfill our station. He sent the text out and said, if you're not working, if you could come and fill, that'll allow our on-duty guys to stay out there and keep fighting. And so anyway, just great. I mean, one more reflection of the great employees that we have in Riverdale. So we appreciate that. And Northview is obviously very complimentary of our training and our equipment and everything that we do in the fire department. So thank you. All right, next we'll move on to, we had a recognition for a couple of our planning commissioners, but not seeing them here. We will hold that for another night. Number 3, America First presentation. I see Tim out there, so we're very excited for this. So come on up.
Thank you, Mayor. Do you have a coordinating plan team, Michelle? Okay. I'm Tim Snyder with America First Credit Union. Obviously here in Riverdale up on the West Bench. So glad to be here tonight. And Mayor, I have good news to bring, so I hope that I can lighten that up.
Right, good.
So I have a construction update for what we have going up there on the West Bench. First thing I'd like to mention as of this morning, the roundabout finished paving.
Oh, wow.
So you can see there, we plan on opening the roundabout Monday morning
Okay.
for traffic.
Nowhere to go.
Yeah, our timing couldn't
a
be
week.
better with
We have
UDOT's closure
4
of
days.
4,400.
4 days. 4 days we can use it. So
Yeah, but
just a taste.
so I also added a plan here. So we will be bringing people in to campus off Riverdale Road and bringing them into campus down the road that goes in front of our new warehouse building there. We will keep the remainder of 1500 West closed between our warehouse building and the roundabout because UDOT will be closing 4400 under the I-84 bridges starting Thursday night at 11 p.m. So our timing was impeccable with this. So we will do that. We have another leg of that roundabout that branches down into our campus. We have to get our temporary road that we have there currently out of the way in order to do that leg. So we'll be about another 4 to 6 weeks and we'll have that last leg included there. So currently that, as of Monday morning, that'll be the traffic plan going into campus. So excited to share that.
So will the new road completely be open on Monday morning or
No,
No.
because UDOT will already have 4400 closed by then. They're closing it Thursday night.
Oh, it's the 22nd. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
They're
Okay.
closing it Thursday night at 11 p.m.
All right.
So,
We're gonna have a ribbon cutting in November.
I guess. we're gonna
from
hear
what
about it.
from what their contractors are telling me, they'll be about 6 weeks to
Yes.
replace those bridges.
Yeah.
So we hope in 6 weeks we'll have the remainder of that road. We'll open
Okay.
that road as soon as they have it open on the other
Okay.
side. So
I think that they said October 3rd was when they were supposed to open under I-84
Correct.
again. So,
Yep.
and then November.
they've been very good to work with. We're in constant communication with them so that we combined our traffic signage with their traffic signage so we didn't confuse people, as they still will be confused Monday morning, but we'll work through that.
I mean, compared to 5600, this is.
This is a cakewalk. So,
So are the people who need to get down to the green part on the east side of Cozydale, they'll have to go up to 1500 and then down through your other
yep,
piece
down
to
through our
get-
internal road
for
down
the
into
4
campus.
to 6 weeks until the other piece is
Till we
done.
get that other leg done. Correct. Yeah. So we've broadcasted this to all of our employees, and so really that traffic going forward starting Monday is really only AFCU internal traffic going past that point. There won't be any through traffic for 6 weeks. So, but we are glad to have that roundabout open. It's been a long time coming. Okay. Some updates on the rest of the campus project. Our parking garage, we finished the pile driving, so you won't hear the pounding anymore. We're glad to get that off site. We're continuing to pour footings around that building, and we finished pouring all of the walls for the elevator and stair lobby and started structural steel this morning as well on that part. So coming together and taking shape. The building itself, our 5-story office building, we've been pouring footings like crazy. We poured about 1,200 yards of concrete in footings. Have about another 300 to go this week, and more to come. So, lots of concrete coming up there to the West Bench. the retaining wall. I'm sure a lot of you see this every day if you're driving in, especially off I-84. We've made a lot of progress on that. That first terrace, we're about one more course left, maybe 1.5, to finish off that first wall, and then we'll move up to the second terrace. So that's coming together as well. We painted the first section that we did to kind of show what that's going to look like in the future, and believe that that blends in, especially once we get the landscaping in. The landscape will be more prominent than the wall, and will look really nice on that hill. So just some milestones to cap off. We finished the pile drive on the parking garage and hillside. Structural steel underway, footings and foundations underway. That first wall of the terrace complete, roundabout opening. And then we also have been working on the Riverdale and Weber Basin new water vaults. They're next to the roundabout, and in conjunction with both the city and Weber Basin. And those have been poured, and now we start putting the guts into them. So anyway, that's kind of our update. Any questions about anything going on up there?
Okay. Seeing none. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
You bet. All right, we'll move on to the city administration report. Mr. Brooks.
Thank you, Mayor. The department heads' reports are in your packet. Anybody have any questions on anything that might be in there? We are missing a few. In fact, I've canceled department heads tomorrow because I've got 3 of them gone. So we're kind of shorthanded, but just weird miscellaneous things. Rich is in meetings. Sean's hunting. They're all over the place. So, but if you don't have any questions on that, I will move on. We do have some anniversary dates, and I know Matt pulled off a miracle getting Dean here tonight. I worried about that. I saw him on there. It's a 30-year anniversary, so he should have been here. But we want to congratulate Dean for that. That's a long time. Dean, could we get you to come up and say something? Or Sure, come on. And I think we have a certificate for you, too, as well. So.
No, I've been honored to be in Riverdale all 30 years. Started as a volunteer. Met Paul back there, and then met a lot of great people along the way, and loved Riverdale City, still do, and here's to another 30 years. Just kidding. Thank you very much for all your support for the fire department, and I appreciate it.
So we'll come on, I'll come on down there. That is pretty neat, 30 years. Congratulations. Thanks. I can't believe 30 years in Riverdale. That's amazing. So I was thinking, so that means you started in 95, right? So
Exactly.
I think it's more disturbing to me that 95 was 30 years ago.
Yeah, I stopped counting, man.
Yeah, so anyway, we have a nice certificate for you here, recognizing that. And then also we have a little gift for you in there too, so that's
Thank you
fantastic.
very much.
So
Appreciate
let's give
it.
them a round of applause. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
I can put it in the newsletter or something, right?
Thank you. Yes.
So, thanks, Steve.
I did want to mention, it's not an anniversary date, but Norm Farrell's hitting his 27. We'll never get Norm here, so if we thought Dean was a good one, Norm was impossible. And we had 2 others that did have anniversary dates. Kathleen Doxey. Any word from Chief?
Kathleen.
She traffic or
Yeah, she was not able to come, but she was very grateful for the recognition. So I'll go over and see her tomorrow in the school zone.
And give you
I invited her, but she just couldn't make it.
Thanks. And then the one who runs Rich's department, Bailey Peterson. Bailey was supposed to be here tonight. I wanted to give her a hard time.
Yeah, I don't know what came up.
I think Rich hired her when she was 16, and she's been here 10 years. She'd probably tell she's only 18 now, but Bailey does a really good job, and we love having her out there. Just her smile and her greetings, and she's very professional. She does a good job. So then the others, RZ is under Rich, and then Steve May. It blows me away. He's been here 2 years already. That's crazy, but anyway, that's all we had for anniversaries there. We'll get those other recognitions to the other individuals there afterwards. Staffing authorization. staffing authorization just sits where it is. We're not down like we had been for a long time. We're still short in a couple departments for different reasons, but we're not deeply short. So it's just one or two positions, and it's kind of the nature of.
Brooks, I had a question on that.
Yeah.
And maybe Chief Hennessy can answer, but it looks like we had about 6 or 7 fire terminations. Were we just
They were
kinda
part-timers.
clearing out part-timers or
Yeah.
something? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, we've been meaning to do that for a while. I mean, we still were using them a little bit, but when you guys authorized those other hires a while ago, that was with that intent that we wouldn't use those any longer. So that's what that was.
Thanks.
Any other questions on that? And really, the only other thing I had was the community development department. So, Brandon, you got just a couple words you want to give them on that?
Yeah, we appreciate Tim and his efforts. That project at times can be frustrating because of the slowness or the perceived slowness of it, but the complexity of it, I think, is underestimated. And for him and his department to manage just one of those projects is massive, and to handle all of them together, the hillside, the parking structure, the roundabout, and the office, is pretty impressive. So kudos to them for the investment that they're making into the city. Although it's not part of the June report, we did have a back-to-back double hitter this month with the Panera and also the Mission. So that was great for those of you who attended that. There'll be great additions. And then just a quick note on Trader Joe's. Mr. Jeff Woody did do what's called a 4-way inspection this week, which means that they're at that point where they are kind of going on the downhill slope towards completion. We still don't have a completion date, but that project is progressing really well. Trader Joe's is starting to ship their equipment, so the refrigerators and some of the internal stuff. So really good sign that they're making progress, and we'll likely see them open before Christmas.
And I would
Question?
Go ahead.
Mr. Stevens?
The Speedway, what used to be Speedway or
Mhm.
Conoco,
Mm-hmm.
there's, fenced off, and there's, any announcements on that?
No announcements. We have not received any formal submission. What they're doing now, as part of the real estate transaction, as I understand it, between the current owner and the potential buyer, is just removing the canopy and the underground storage tanks. The buildings aren't getting demolished at this point.
Well, there's a sign on it that says 7-Eleven.
Really?
So,
really.
Nothing.
hey man, I'm
Yeah.
just saying what's in open.
Yeah,
you
nothing.
drive by it and it says safety, basically the safety of the work side of a 7-Eleven is here, so.
Well, it used to be a 7-Eleven, right? And
No, it's Conoco.
I don't know. It was a
Speedway.
Circle K a long time ago.
was it? I don't know. That's-
7-Eleven owned Speedway.
Oh, they do.
That one. I don't know if it's all of them, but that was a 7-Eleven called Speedway.
Okay. Well, that's good because I
Yeah, you know.
wasn't a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, that's my hunch. We have nothing. We have nothing from 7-Eleven.
I would just add my 2 bits on those grand openings. A number of you were there. They were both really, really good. Panera was good, and they did a really nice job with their opening. But Mission Barbecue was kind of unique. I've never been to one like that before. They do their own thing. They were a little bit weirded out by us coming in and doing our thing. But they are very pro-police, pro-fire, and pro-military, like big time. And every day at noon, they stop everything, kitchen help, everything, and they play the national anthem. Just a very classy organization. They had open houses for both of these departments here. It's just really nice. And on top of that, the food was excellent. I mean, it is really, really good. So if you missed out on that, take that opportunity to go in there and visit them. That was good. And then the mayor and I took it upon ourselves after that Panera grand opening and went with Mr. Woody, and we toured Panera just to kind of get a look at it. But it
Or Trader Joe's.
or Trader Joe's, I mean. And you can see it's getting close. We're not too far off. So a lot of, I mean, they put their sprinklers in. They're rolling. So it won't be long. We'll have that. I'm predicting even before Thanksgiving. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
possibly.
It'll be exciting. So
It looks like Ken Garf's Honda's building is pretty much done. Do they have? any
Yeah, so they're on
plans?
to the second part of that, where
Oh.
they are demolishing the old building, which it's pretty much down now. That view, I think is outstanding, coming up and down the road where you can see now the new glass building. So I think they've done a great job. They'll be doing some parking lot improvements, and then they have some other work to do in the back. The service bays aren't quite done, but I think the showroom is.
Okay. Do you expect them to have a grand reopening type thing with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll work that out.
They're giving away free cars.
I asked one of the people when I went in for service, and he was saying next April to June. Is that, I guess that's for the various phases?
Yeah, again, they don't tell us much in terms of their completion dates. Sometimes when they get close, they can pin it down, but it's hard for us to know what those are most of the time. We did learn from Panera that the Panera opening in Riverdale was the best of all 4 or 5 Paneras in the state. So we crushed it.
In what way? Like
most visitorship, the highest amount of orders.
we try to tell them.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. That's good feedback. Any other questions for Mr. Brooks or Mr. Cooper? Okay, great. Let's move on to consent items. Number 1, consideration to appoint Leslie Shoup to the Riverdale City Planning Commission. As I mentioned, Wanda Nye has indicated that she would like to step down from her position, and I always, when I try to find people for the Planning Commission, I try to keep them spread out throughout the city. I don't want them concentrated all in one neighborhood, and try to keep a balance of who's on there. So we can get a lot of different perspectives. And Leslie's here tonight, and I appreciate her being here. I don't know if any of you have any questions for her. Some of you may know her. She does live on the south side of Riverdale, and I like to keep representation over there. I think we have good representation from even the East Bench. We have everywhere now represented. But anyway, and we can have Leslie come up if you do want to ask her any questions. But in talking to her, it's interesting. Like, I knew that I wanted Leslie on there, and I knew because I'd worked with her on projects before that she's really good at following through with things and really responsible, and that she would be a good fit. But I have a list of questions that I go through, and I spent over an hour talking to her about different things, and some of the things she brought up I wasn't even anticipating, but this is why we have different people on here. She has a son that has cerebral palsy. Yeah. And Chandler, some of you might know him. And anyway, it was just interesting. This had nothing to do with why I picked her, but we were talking about, plan reviews and different things and site plans and layouts and just what the Planning Commission does and going with the general plan. And she talked about how kind of in tune or focused she is on accessibility with plans and making sure that the parking spots are in the right places and the ramps are in the right places and that's good. That's a good thing to have somebody that's going to be able to recognize that, because I wouldn't recognize it, but someone that it's something that they deal with every day is going to be good with that. And that's just one small thing. She's got a lot of great capabilities and attributes she's going to bring to the commission. But anyway, if there's any questions, I can have her come up, and if not, then we would just need a motion to appoint Leslie Shoup to the Riverdale City Planning Commission. Councilor Arnold.
I would move to appoint Leslie Shoup to the Riverdale City Planning Commission.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on that motion? All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Okay. So there you go. You're on the Planning Commission. So we'll have you work with Ms. Maragoni and Mr. Cooper, and they'll get you all set up with everything and get you all trained and get your equipment and stuff. So, all right, great. Well, welcome. Okay, we'll move on to item number 2. Consideration to approve the meeting minutes from the July 15th, 2025 work session, council work session, and the council work meeting from July 15th. Also the August 5th, 2025 council work session and regular council meeting. Any corrections or changes to those minutes? Seeing none, we would need a motion to approve.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on that motion? All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? All right. Those minutes are approved. We'll move on to action items. Number 1, consideration of resolution 2025-30, adopting an amendment to the Riverdale City Personnel Policies and Procedures Handbook. Mr. Brooks.
Thank you, Mayor. As I mentioned in the pre-planning meeting, this comes as a result of some state legislation that they passed. If you'll notice, this is a complete new addition to our personnel manual in 9-21. 21 didn't exist, so this is completely new, everything in here. But it does conform with what the state has asked us to do. And again, it goes back to just mental health counseling and some different things for our first responders. So I think it's appropriate, it's well deserved, and it's one of those things that we really need. I mean, as Chief Warren mentioned in the pre-planning meeting, this is stuff it's just part of the job, and it's really our obligation if we want them to go out and do the things they do, that we have this resource available to them. So I would strongly recommend that we pass this and get it put into our personnel manual.
Any questions for Mr. Brooks? Councilor Arnold.
Move to approve resolution 2025-30 as stated within the packet.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Ms. Maragoni, please poll the council.
Counselor Hanson,
Yes.
Counselor Arnold,
Yes.
Counselor Richter,
Yes.
Counselor Stevens,
Yes.
Counselor House.
Yes.
All right, that passes unanimously. Very good. Thank you. I think that's a great addition to our manual. Okay, number 2, consideration of resolution 2025-31, certifying the official canvass report of the August 12th, 2025 municipal primary election for Riverdale City, Utah. Ms. Maragoni.
I have a PowerPoint.
Hey.
Hang on a second. Brandon will be right back.
We'll have him judge it.
Got your skills.
Okay, so this is just the official results, which we got about almost 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon, of the municipal primary election from August 12th, 2025 for city council seats. So we have 4,100 active registered voters. 1,086 of them cast ballots. 8 were rejected, which left 1,078 counted. That's 26.29% of the voters. The county average was 27%, so we were right about there, right in the middle. Of those ones that were not counted, 1 was unsigned, and 7 were returned past the deadline. So we had just 8. We had 1 provisional ballot, which is like overseas, or it was cast and it was returned and counted. Mailed out 4,166 ballots. 3,080 didn't bring them back, and 102 were undeliverable.
Do we know how many of the returned did any of them correct? We don't know that.
Yeah, so they have a little note, it's probably hard to see there, but it says each voter's ballot would not be counted, was notified of the reason their ballot would not be counted, and given instructions how to correct the deficiency.
So they
told them,
included.
but they didn't get corrected.
We sent out 4,166 ballots to 4,100 people.
Yeah, I think that's, they sent them out, and maybe people didn't get them for one reason or another, or had a problem and they had to resend them.
And if they've moved, I mean, like they sent one to my daughter who got married last September, and I called them and said, hey, can you take her off? But they still sent her one. So, that was just a garbage ballot. It's probably a fairly small percentage, but things like that happen as well.
It could also be if somebody, spilled coffee on it and needed a new one, they'll send a new one out. Of the total votes, Kent Anderson got 509, which was 26.04%. Bar Stevens, 371, 18.98%. Shauna Flinders received 365, which was 18.67%. Jim Packard, 330, 16.88%. And Stacy Hawes, 380, 19.44%. And I'm using the wrong mouse. So as this was a primary, the candidates will advance to the general election on November 4th. These results have been canvassed and certified in accordance with Utah state law and represent the official outcome of the primary election. They also sent out the precinct level results, which I sent to you in the email, but that's a lot of numbers to go over, and this is all that's required for the canvass.
Okay. Any questions for Ms. Maragoni? Councilor Arnold.
I'll just make a statement. I worked as a poll worker this election, and the process is amazing. The validity of everything. I mean, if you have a problem with mail-in ballots and all that kind of stuff, it's really solid. I was really impressed with, I mean, and the crazy shape of some of the stuff that, of the ballots that get sent in, not just Riverdale, because it was the countywide that we worked, but, you know, their kids had drawn on it and a picture of a horse or something like that through the key areas, you know, and, you know, they really make a strong attempt to contact those people by phone, by email, I mean, they really do make a strong attempt, and it's really a solid process. So I would invite any of you to, you know, be a poll watcher if you're on the ballot. But if you're not on the ballot, you can be the poll watcher or be a poll worker. And they really want to get elected officials involved in this, to talk to our state officials and even the federal officials, because, you know, when the president is tweeting out, hey, we need to get rid of mail-in voting, that really doesn't fit in Weber County. It really works well in Weber County, and that whole department is really solid. So just thought I'd share that with you.
Okay. Thank you. Good comments. Councilor Arnold.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025-31, certifying the official canvass report as stated within the packet.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on that motion? Ms. Maragoni, please poll the council.
Mr. Haas?
Yes.
Councilor Henson?
Yes.
Councilor Arnold?
Yes.
Councilor Richter?
Yes.
Councilor Stevens?
Yes.
All right. That resolution passes unanimously. Thank you. We will move on to the comments section of our agenda. First, the city council. Any comments for this meeting? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the city staff.
We have nothing further, Mayor.
Okay. And I don't have any comments either, so we would need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion, do we have a second? Motion and a second. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All right. We're adjourned.
Just trying to say something, but
Sorry, we have a certain part of the agenda at the start of the meeting where we take public comments. I think some of us will be available after the meeting to talk to you.
we have another meeting. You can address this as the
Yeah.
RDA board if you want.
Well, I just had a concern that I wanted you guys to be aware of.
Okay. We have another meeting that's starting right now, and there'll be a moment there where you can get up to the microphone and share your concerns with us. So, all right. We will now move into the Riverdale City RDA Board meeting for Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. Please let the record show that all members of the RDA Board are present, as well as members of the city staff and members of the public. We will now have a time for public comment. This is an opportunity to address the Riverdale Redevelopment Agency regarding your concerns or ideas. If you do approach the microphone, please state your name and the city in which you reside, and try to limit your comments to about 3 minutes.
My name is Sterling Benyon. I've lived in Riverdale for almost 40 years. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the police, you know. They had the situation up in Tremont the other day, and, you know, the police go from a slow day to a life-threatening moment in just a few seconds, you know. And I think our police do a really good job, and I'd like to thank them. and our fire department as well. But my other concern is you come down to 1150 West down to the intersection there for Ritter Drive and South Weaver Drive and 1100 West. There's a lot of bush and trees in the way there. The cars coming off of South Weaver Drive can't see cars going up or cars coming down at 1150 West. The cars, I was going down 1150 West just today, and a car pulled out in front of me. You can't see them. They can't see you. The bushes need to be trimmed back. And in the past, the city's gone in and trimmed those. I had a serious accident years ago there. There's been several since I've lived there for over the 40 years. So, and I just ask that the city do something about that. That's my big concern.
I had a question to clarify with you. When you see you're coming down from up 1150, headed north, coming down the hill.
You cannot see the cars coming off of South Weaver Drive.
Yeah.
So if you're coming to South Weaver Drive, you're trying to basically look back over your shoulder to look up 1150.
Yeah.
And I talked to Steve about it, and he's going to have Steve May look at it and see what our ordinance is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we sent him out there, but I'll follow through on it. We brought the same concern up with UDOT because there was some question on where their right of way was and ours and where their private property. But I'll get Steve up there tomorrow. Sounds like I need Norm up there too, and he's already going to be over there looking at the other things. So I'll get him over on both of those. We'll get it taken care of.
One of the property owners had actually cut some of the
Yeah.
back. It must not have been where you're talking.
You're talking about the point where it connects with South Weaver Drive, right?
Yeah.
That point right there. Okay. I think that was the same one we talked about before.
If you're coming down 1150 West, it's a
Okay.
hill.
I got you.
There's you tend to speed
Right.
up coming down there.
Right.
And you can't see the cars coming off of South Weaver
Okay.
Drive. And
Okay.
of course, we're careful because I had an accident there years ago, but a lady pulled right out and turned in front of us, and she had no idea that we were
Yeah.
even behind her there.
We'll get it taken
She
care of.
had no idea
There's
what
another
she'd
lane
even done.
There,
so.
so like the risk management committee, I mean, we're going to go to the roundabout there, right? So,
Right.
And I think
there's
That
another
will-
lane that they're supposed to merge on, and sometimes they don't, or if they're cutting across the
Okay.
River Drive. So
I think a roundabout's a poor idea too, because
That's-
people
that
don't
ship
know how to
sailed.
use roundabouts, and
we don't
cars are
have
going to slide right through it.
we don't have anything to do with that. UDOT's.
I realize that, but it'd
All
be
right.
nice if you could try and discourage it.
Okay.
We'll get up there.
But yeah, if you guys could do something about the bus, that would be great.
Thank you. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. Appreciate it. Yep. Yeah. Excellent. All right. No presentations or reports for this meeting, so we'll move on to consent items. Consideration to approve the meeting minutes from the August 5th, 2025 RDA board meeting and work session. Any corrections or changes to those minutes? Seeing none, we need a motion to approve.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Well, that passes unanimously. Very good. We just had one action item tonight. It was a consideration to adjourn into a closed session, but it looks like we are not going to need that tonight. We do not have everything that we needed to go into that session, and so we are going to skip that item tonight. Any comments for this meeting from the RDA board? Any comments from the city staff?
No, Mayor.
Okay, and I don't have any either, so we need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Yeah, motion and a second. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
All right, there we go. We're adjourned. Thank you.
And Mike wasn't on the whole time.
Right?
The motions. You gotta start over.
Yeah, I don't know.
Look at you. You made it.
I know. No, but only one person called, but I can call her back.